Time has been passing, and now that we are several more years into the electric vehicle (EV) game, we are learning more about how it develops and what the industry's future holds. To be fair, Tesla hasn't really done much in terms of new models since the Model Y, but we have seen how quickly they can produce the Model Y while it is in production in Shanghai, which is remarkable. Aside from that, though, we haven't really seen how tests are going. The 4680s haven't advanced at all, and the Cybertruck hasn't started production, though we naturally expect that to happen this quarter. Otherwise, we've only been informed about the new production techniques that Tesla will start utilizing once Mexico is complete, and we're now actually hearing rumors that CATL are looking at building a cell and battery factory there too, which would make sense. And these cars are somewhat useless without any batteries, so in reality that's all the hope there is for Tesla at this stage. Really the new unboxed parallel manufacturing technique that will be able to utilize any cell or battery in the production process, and thus not dependent on the 4680 sales. That is Tesla's future progress for EVs aside from FSD, and I'm not trying to belittle at all, as Ethon claims it could reduce the production cost of the current lowest cost Tesla by half, a number I am still shocked about and is highly underrated. Okay, so Tesla have demonstrated over the last few years that they are able to reach high volume production in manufacturing EVs, and are able to do so with a profit, in fact, a really good profit at least, when the economy is doing well and rates are not so high. Tesla has one model that is selling over 1 million a year annually, and being produced in the 3 continents with the biggest markets in the world. This offers absolutely insane economy to scale. The entire company has pretty much been oriented around achieving this with the best engineers who specialize in it, and with about 20 years of experience now in learning, evolving, and refining electric vehicles. All this has resulted in what is now the best-selling vehicle in many markets. Even despite its relatively high price tag, despite it selling so well, it doesn't truly have unlimited demand like, for lack of a better word, it did somewhat feel like in the past. Tesla had to lower the price in order to meet demand due to additional supply and changes in the economy. Therefore, Tesla has set the benchmark for the price point of an electric crossover, and sedan, meaning anyone who wants to compete must be competitive with Tesla in some ways. Of BMW or Mercedes can charge more for their EVs and market themselves as a more luxurious version, and even add in features like cooling seats, head-up display, or air suspension, and they can get away with a higher price tag. But the problem is for them that still doesn't necessarily result in BMW making more profit than Tesla. For starters, even if BMW really market their EVs well, they're never going to be as good an electric car as Tesla. They won't have the range handling or performance. Then they won't have the technology or features like Tesla offers, like FSD and many more. It will be an inferior vehicle for more dollars, and they'll get some sales as not everyone wants to Tesla. I think BMW's best-selling car is the X5 at just over 300,000 units a year now. If BMW did have an electric crossover that actually was competitive to the Model I, better than the current BMW X3, then perhaps at best sales might be 50,000 a year. Consumers buying an electric car considered Tesla as well as the brand that they're previously loyal to. In fact, I doubt BMW would even sell 50,000 a year. And that would be a price tag of $5,000 to $10,000 more than a Model Y. Okay, so the equivalent BMW would probably end up being about $10,000 more than what away, and have a few other extras that Tesla doesn't have, along with many that you have to pay extra for that come standard in a Tesla. And then the BMW would lack range performance and handling and potentially the charging network. So a rational consumer looking for an electric crossover would be comparing the lower cost greater significance Tesla to this BMW, with the majority choosing to purchase the Tesla. My true message here is to keep in mind that whereas BMW would make far less than $50,000 a year, Tesla makes over $1 million. Tesla would probably make 30 to 50 times as many in reality. The difference in economies of scale is insane. Not only that, the difference in Tesla's manufacturing processes, cells, batteries, drivetrain has massive cost savings. Not only that, BMW have the additional cost of the unions. And then of course, the car dealers also. BMW would likely struggle to even make any more than 50,000 units anyway with their manufacturing techniques. What I'm getting at is, even if BMW offered a nicer, more prestigious electric crossover to compete with the Model Why? And even if BMW charged $10,000 more, which is a lot of money for starters, then BMW would still not be able to come close to making a profit on these vehicles. It would not be at all profitable. In fact, I would guess they're still losing at least $10,000 per vehicle, maybe twice that, and that would be even when BMW have set up their own battery and cell factories and have custom-built facilities. They would also imply that they could even sell 50,000 a year, and if they could produce 50,000, the same would apply for Mercedes. These are prestigious brands that can get away with a $10,000 higher price tag than Tesla due to their brand. But selling their electric vehicles is still a niche for these owns, and not all their customers want them because most people turn to Tesla if they're going to electric. So just to repeat one, the likes of BMW, even if they could create in volume at 200,000 or more a year and benefit from economies of scale, Mercedes, Audi, etc., cannot physically make their automobiles in volume production to even take advantage of economies of scale too. It would still be insignificant in compared to Tesla 3. Even if they were able to produce more than 200,000 units of one model, there would still not be enough demand. 4. Even if there was sufficient demand, they would still not be able to turn a profit because they lack the necessary supply, demand, and profits. I think the one company that could potentially get away with a high enough price to cover electric costs is Porsche. Also tests that are done trying to make the quickest EVs so Porsche could take those niches with different market segments that Tesla are not in. And what about other brands that are not so prestigious like mainstream brands such as Volkswagen or Ford and GM? These brands are inferior to Tesla. They have to undercut Tesla in price if they want to sell enough vehicles. In order to do that, they would also have to undercut Tesla in costs again for the same reason. Simply not going to happen. They have even less chance than the prestigious brands. They could niche into certain areas like the Ford Lightning as a work truck. But for these brands, electric is already niche. If they niche too far, then they simply have a really small market, which means less economy scale, which means more cost. So any niche market would mean they have to sell for very expensive. And okay, the electric pickup truck probably isn't actually that niche, but it doesn't have much competition. Because Tesla aren't in that arena yet. The thing is, the Cybertruck may not be as utilitarian as the Lightning for some people's uses. However, as an electric pickup truck, it does offer a lot more in other areas. It has more range, power motors, and many other outstanding features. This is a vehicle that we haven't even heard of yet. It appeals to a wider consumer base than the typical pickup truck owner and is more of a lifestyle than a work vehicle. It's possible that Tesla will even expand the pickup truck market with this vehicle. And Ford and GM will be extremely concerned about Tesla taking market share away from their pickup truck market, which is their most profitable market. Ford is already beginning to abuse the Cybertruck, claiming that it's not a proper work vehicle. They are obviously concerned. People will still require cars, so Tesla's supply will be constrained for a while. If customer demand for electric vehicles increases, however, Tesla may raise prices once more because there won't be much competition. Legacy does have factories that produce hundreds of gigawatt-hours of batteries annually. However, they are more likely to sell 80 million vehicles annually, so 4 million EVs won't have much of an impact, and those 4 million will still be sold at a loss. If Legacy loses $10,000 per vehicle, that's $40 billion, which is a much larger amount. Legacy won't be able to survive at that rate.